between the realm of the dead and the journeys of the living. Join Josh, Jamey, and Aleca as they delve into the vast world of the paranormal and breathe life back into the history of the departed.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Paranormal Peeps podcast. I'm Josh.
And I'm Jamey.
And I'm Aleca. And today we are going to talk about Hantu spirits.
Hantu?
Hantu. So in Malaysian, Indonesia, and the neighboring areas around there, that is their word for ghost, spirit, or demon. So it's a broad category that covers anything from their ancestral souls to like malevolent spirits.
Do we have a term that we use for that here in the U.S.?
A broad term that just covers it all?
Yeah. I mean, I guess spirit.
Well, yeah, but isn't like when we use the word supernatural, doesn't that cover like a broad range?
Yeah, I guess paranormal would be pretty close because that covers everything from Sasquatch to aliens to...
Well, so is like supernatural too. Like
Yeah. But I wonder if there's just one for ghosts in general. I don't know.
That's a good question.
There probably is, and we know it, and we're just not thinking of it at all. We talk about it all the time, but we don't ever say it.
That sounds about right.
So the Hantu are often thought to have physical or semi-physical forms, rather than just being like a transparent apparition. So because the term is so broad, there are many different types of Hantus with their own different behaviors. So there's a Raya Hantu, and a Raya means a great ghost or a grand spirit. And it's one of the most formidable or complex entities in the Malayan Indonesian demonology. Unlike many other ghosts, they are the souls of the deceased, and the Hantu Raya is often categorized as like a high-ranking jinn or an elemental spirit that exists in a symbiotic, often transactional relationship with a human. So one of the most powerful spirits, often serving as a familiar for a practitioner of black magic. And for those of you that don't know what a familiar is a spirit guide, basically, that appears as an animal or an entity that assists and protects the person that they're working with. And it can take the form of the owner, and it is used for manual labor or even as an alibi.
Hey,
Right?
It wasn't me. It was my familiar.
What you talking about?
I really don't think that defense would work in the U.S.
I don't know, I've heard dumber defenses, so that seem to get away with.
Well, I suppose that's true.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, there's also like different generations that take on things like voodoo and stuff that travels throughout the years that people still believe that was a long time ago, that like people painting their houses blue or their porches blue and their ceilings blue.
Right.
You know, so that the spirit thinks that that's water, and so they won't come to the house.
Interesting.
Yeah. I'll have to talk on that next time. But I think it's things that just get handed down generation after generation.
Right.
And just people just stick with it because in their minds, it works.
Sure.
So
that makes sense.
Yeah. So the Hantu Raya is rarely like a wild ghost. It's typically a saka, a spirit that is kept, fed, and passed down through generations. So it's described as a massive, towering black silhouette, often with glowing red eyes, and a hairy, muscular build. Hairy.
So, well, the hairy and the red eyes make it seem like it's
Sasquatch?
not good. Yeah.
I know.
Nothing good.
But what do you feed them?
Well, we'll get to that.
Oh, okay. I was thinking like ghost toast, but...
So a practitioner of traditional magic, or an individual seeking power or protection, enters a contract with the spirit. In exchange for its services, the owner must feed the Hantu Raya. Traditional offerings include yellow, glutinous rice, roasted chicken, eggs, and sometimes even a drop of the owner's blood.
Whoa.
Okay, so
It's quite the variety here.
Sounded good until that last part.
Right?
The most distinct and chilling power of the Hantu Raya is its ability to take the exact form of its master. Legend says that a man could be seen by his neighbors working in the rice fields when he is actually miles away in another village. The person in the field was his Hantu Raya. If the owner travels, the Hantu Raya stays behind. Intruders would see the master of the house sitting on the porch, deterring them from entering, even if the house was technically empty. The darkest part of the Hantu Raya lore is the deathbed crisis. Because the spirit is bound by a contract, it cannot leave until that contract is transferred or broken. If an owner is dying but has not yet passed the spirit to a descendant, the Hantu Raya will keep the master's soul tethered to their body. This results in an agonizing long death rattle, where the person cannot pass away despite being medically dead. The spirit may trick a child or a grandchild into accepting the inheritance. If the family member touches the dying person or answers a specific question, the bond transfers to them, and the cycle begins anew. If the owner dies without a successor, the Hantu Raya becomes a stray, and it will wander the area in the form of its late master, by appearing to grieving relatives or performing the old master's habits. To get rid of the Hantu Raya, a specialized practitioner of magic must perform a ritual to break the saka. This often involves sending the spirit back into the wilderness or locking it into a bottle and burying it or throwing it out to the sea. If the spirit is not properly banished, it is said to follow the family lineage, waiting for a weak-willed descendant to reclaim it.
Wow.
So a personal experience somebody had, a woman was reported looking out of her kitchen window at dusk and seeing her husband clearing brush in the backyard. She called out to him that dinner was ready, and he waved back without turning around, and a few moments later, she heard the front door open and was terrified to see her husband walking in from the street, carrying groceries from the market. When she looked back out the window, the husband in the garden was gone. The neighbor later claimed that they had seen the husband standing perfectly still in the dark for hours.
That would be quite alarming.
A little creepy.
Well, if you think about it, she's saying she saw him gardening.
Yep.
The neighbor's saying that that person was just standing still, staring at
For hours.
For hours. Like, that's creepy in and of itself.
Yeah.
It's like, what you looking at?
What you doing out there?
You okay? So another one is called a Pontianak. Perhaps the most famous, this is the spirit of a woman who died during childbirth. Now, something that I've noticed when studying up on these things, they have a lot of fear around childbirth. There's multiple entities that go around childbirth, so we'll go through it as I'm going through the podcast, but just like keep that in mind. It's really interesting that they have this fear.
Kind of makes sense though, because if you're talking about some kind of remote areas where there's probably not the greatest medical,
Should something
for sure
go
and I'm
wrong?
sure the mortality rate
could be very high, considering like those versus the city versus the rural areas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She is typically depicted as a beautiful woman with pale skin, red eyes, and long black hair. She is often dressed in a blood-smeared white dress. She only appears under the full moon. She also changes into a more monstrous form when she captures her prey, which can be men or pregnant women during childbirth. If you hear the sound of a baby crying but there's no baby, or the smell of a decaying corpse, one is probably near you. The Pontianak can disguise herself using the appearance of a beautiful woman to lure her prey. When she attacks, her true form emerges. Her skin becomes pale and withered, her fingernails turn into long claws, and she develops a hole in the back of her neck. She kills her victims by using her long fingernails to physically remove their internal organs for consumption. In cases where she seeks revenge against a man, she will eviscerate the victim with her hands. If the victim has their eyes open when she is near, she will suck them out of their head. She is believed to locate her prey by the scent of her victim's clean laundry. Because of this, some Malayans refuse to leave any piece of clothing outside their homes overnight.
That's crazy.
I would just stop doing laundry.
Yep. I'm like, we're not washing clothes, guys. We're all going to stink.
We're all gonna stink.
One of the most unique aspects of the Pontianak lore is the belief that she can be domesticated or turn into a human woman. According to legend, if you sneak upon a Pontianak and drive an iron nail into the hole at the nape of her neck, she will instantly transform into a perfect, beautiful, and submissive human wife. She will remain human as long as the nail stays in her neck. If it is ever removed, even years later, after she has raised a family, she will immediately revert to her monstrous form and flee back into the forest, often killing her husband first.
That is crazy. That'd be interesting, though. Hey, kids, this is how I met your mother. She was once this horrific creature, and I drove a spike into the hole in the nape of her neck, and that's how she became my wife.
The part that is weird is like they can raise children.
Right?
Right.
So what if they die in childbirth? Do you get a super one? Like twice as strong?
I don't know. Maybe you just find her again and put the nail back into her neck and she revives.
Whew, that was a close one.
I lost you there for a minute.
What if during childbirth it falls out?
That's why you have backups close
You
by.
always have one in your pocket ready.
Right? Just be at the ready.
So here is a personal experience. On a dark stretch of highway near a banana plantation was a motorcyclist who reported the sudden overwhelming scent of flowers, a sweet floral smell associated with funerals. He then saw a woman in a white dress standing by the side of the road with her back turned. As he slowly came down the road and offered help, he heard a high-pitched giggling that seemed to come from everywhere all at once. As he drew closer, the giggling turned into a guttural, animalistic growl. He caught a glimpse of her reflection in his side mirror where her face should have been. There was only long, matted hair and a hollow cavity. He sped away, claiming he felt cold, invisible hands brushing against his back for the next 3 miles.
Yeah.
It follows.
Right. Interesting enough, though, this same type of story happens in the U.S. Truckers have come across the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
A beautiful woman
wearing
white on the side of the road, and then when they pick her up for hitchhiking, either she disappears, or in some cases, they look over and she's got the bottom half of a goat.
What?
Yeah, she's got goat legs.
So I never heard that.
I haven't heard
part
that either.
Yeah.
with the goat
I've
legs.
heard where she doesn't have a face,
right?
Or where she is just screaming and it
right.
freaks them out or whatever.
I've never heard the goat
But
legs.
not the goat legs.
That's a new one for me.
Yeah.
Same.
You know, the first time I heard that story, I was driving at night to get back home. And I was listening to the radio, and that's what came on.
Nice.
And I'm in the middle of nowhere.
You're keeping your eyes out for a woman in white with goat legs.
Oh, I'm just going to run her over. I'm not stopping to pick her up.
I mean, come on. It could have been How I Met Your Mother story.
Where's that nail when I need one?
We got beautiful little goat children.
Half goat.
Okay, so this next one is called a Pocong. And it is a ghost that is trapped in its burial shroud. According to legend, if the ties of the shroud are not undone during burial, the soul becomes restless and hops out of the grave. In burial traditions in Malaysia and Indonesia, the deceased is wrapped in a white fabric called a kafan. The shroud is tied at the feet, the neck, and above the head to keep the body secure. According to legend, the soul stays on earth for 40 days after death. If the ties of the shroud are not released by a living person before the body is buried, the soul becomes trapped within the cloth. The body then jumps out of the grave to seek out the living, not necessarily to kill, but to plead for someone to untie the knot so that its soul can finally be released to the afterlife. Because the shroud is tied tightly to the ankles, the Pocong cannot walk. They are seen as ghostly gliders, or entities that teleport instantly from one spot to another. Their face is dried out or rotten. Since it has been in the ground, its skin is earthy, and it may have dark, empty eye sockets. Its presence is usually preceded by a sharp, pungent smell of decay, or the heavy, sweet scent of funeral flowers. Unlike the vengeful Pontianak, the Pocong motives are often more pathetic than malicious. A Pocong will often appear in front of a person and stare silently. It might lean against a doorway or hover near a window. It will often appear in front of a person and stare silently. Because its arms are tied inside the shroud, it will use its head to knock on the doors of its former home or even headbutt people to get their attention.
Oh, wow. Could you imagine being headbutt with their rotten face?
Dude, untie me.
See that rotten face coming at you?
If you run, it may follow you. While they are technically seeking help, the sheer terror of being chased by a wrapped corpse is enough to cause many victims to faint or fall ill from shock. I mean, reality is, yeah, that'd be pretty spooky.
It would
Yeah,
be.
I ain't
would.
gonna lie. Like, the story's funny, but really, that would be scary.
I just see it instead of like teleporting, it like hopping.
I know, me too.
Because it's all tied up.
You.
Me too. If you are brave enough to untie the knot above its head, the spirit will be released instantly. In some stories, the person who does this is granted a blessing or a shroud string that brings good luck, though this is considered dark magic. There is a common belief that if a Pocong is chasing you, you should lie flat on the ground because the Pocong can only see at eye level and has difficulty bending its stiff body. It may lose sight of you, so running in circles or zigzags is said to confuse them,
Okay, cue the cartoon music here.
as they have limited mobility.
Like running around in circles, get dizzy, fall over, you're safe.
They can't see you.
Where'd it go? Where'd it go?
They just disappeared.
Then
Till
it,
it hops on you.
and it trips over your body.
So here's a personal account. A teenager taking a shortcut home through a cemetery path during a full moon reported seeing a tall, white bolster leaning against a tree. Thinking it was a prank, he kicked it. The object didn't fall. It slowly tipped forward until it was upright and hopped once toward him. The boy described the face inside the shroud as being packed with earth. The knots above the head were dusty and frayed, and the Pocong didn't attack. It simply stood in its path, vibrating silently. The boy reported that the air around the entity was incredibly cold and it smelled like old rain on a grave. He eventually had to jump into a nearby drainage ditch to get around it, as the spirit seemed unable to change its vertical orientation easily.
That would be interesting. And see, it did. It hopped.
It
It
did.
did.
It hopped
It
once.
hopped.
And then he just ran around it
Yep.
through the drainage ditch. I'm curious though, what is fresh rain on cemetery grounds smell like?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe when we go on our trip this year, we can figure that out.
I wonder if it's just like
Like that
fresh
musty.
earth smell.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the difference between smelling rain on the ground and rain on a grave? Which is ground?
I don't know. Maybe over there it's different. I don't know.
Could be.
Maybe we're gonna have to find out.
Well,
Okay.
because
So we'll dig a fresh grave.
No. Okay.
So I went to England, not England, but Scotland.
Mm-hmm.
You don't smell the rain before it comes.
Really?
Here,
You do?
you can smell the rain before it comes,
That's interesting.
but there you cannot. So it makes me wonder if there is a difference.
Oh, I'm sure there is. The
Yeah.
question is what?
Yeah. Well, and my question also is, if you untie the shroud,
Mm-hmm.
what happens to the corpse? Does it just fall and collapse?
Falls like a piece of wood
Yeah.
to the ground?
Like just fall.
That, I imagine that's what would happen, but obviously they didn't say.
Then you got to go bury it.
Nah, just leave it there. Put it in the drainage ditch.
You'd get some real good luck after that one. Okay, this next one is kind of a harder name. It's called a Penanggalan. While many ghosts are spirits of the dead, the Penanggalan is a living person, usually a woman, who has gained supernatural powers through dark magic, but at a horrific physical cost.
Uh-oh.
She's a witch.
Burn her! During the day, she looks like an ordinary woman. At night, her head detaches from her neck and flies into the air. Oh, it gets better. Just wait. She does not just fly as a head. She takes her stomach, her trailing intestines, heart, and lungs with her. These organs are said to glow like fireflies as she moves through the dark.
Oh, that would be a sight to see.
So her head comes
Right?
off, and
And it
then
just
her
takes-
organs come with.
Yeah.
So if you can picture her head coming off of her neck, and through her neck hole comes all of her intestines
And her
heart
organs.
and all that stuff with her, and she starts flying through the night.
Wow. It's like a really morbid kite.
Until you grab hold of one of the intestines, and it's like, what the heck is this? Is it on a string? His face.
Why would anybody want to do that?
I don't know.
It's like you can have unlimited power, but at night your head is going to detach from your body, take your organs with it, and go flying around.
For the purpose of what? Does it say?
Yes.
Okay.
You will find. So she is driven by a specific predatory hunger. She feeds on the blood of newborn babies and a woman in labor. She perches on the roof of a house where a birth is taking place. She uses her long invisible tongue to slip through cracks in the floorboards or roof tiles to drain the blood of the mother or the child from above. If she cannot find a birth, she may settle for livestock or cause diseases in people by brushing her vinegar-soaked entrails against them as she flies past. Because her internal organs swell while she is flying and feeding, they won't fit back into her empty neck cavity. To fix this, she keeps a vat of vinegar in her home. Upon returning, she soaks her entrails in the vinegar to make them shrivel and shrink so that she can slip back into her human torso.
So she pickles herself.
Yep.
Almost.
And if she runs out of vinegar,
She's out of luck.
She's stuck.
it's gonna be a mess in the morning.
So if you suspect a woman in your village as a Penanggalan, you look for the constant smell of vinegar in her house. Because she attacks from the air with the trailing organs, their traditional defenses are physical and quite grisly. People place the thorny leaves of pineapple-like plants around their windows, doors, and floorboards. If the Penanggalan tries to fly past, her delicate intestines will get snagged on the thorns, trapping her until the sun rises. If she cannot return to her body before dawn, she will be exposed and die. If someone finds her empty body while her head is away, they can fill the neck cavity with broken glass, salt, or pepper. When she tries to reattach, the pain or the barrier will prevent her from merging back in, leaving her to perish.
That she should put a sign on her body before her head flies away saying back in 5.
I just can't imagine, like, you come home, right, from the day in the fields, and you got home late, and you get home, and your wife her headless corpse
It's standing there.
is sitting, in the chair, and so you're like, I should stuff it with glass and salt.
Well, I mean,
That'll teach her.
if you're raised in those beliefs,
Right.
you would automatically know to do that, right?
Yeah.
So different beliefs.
Well, right.
But what if, though, what if it is your wife?
Would you really do that?
Yeah, do you do that?
Or do you just keep the secret?
I mean, I would think as a husband, I would keep the secret.
Yeah. You'd wait for her head and her entrails to come back. You'd help her soak them in vinegar and put them back in her body through the neck hole.
Yeah, but she's murdering kids.
Right, but maybe you would try to find a way to save her.
Yeah. I mean, can you insert an iron rod in the back of her neck or
I mean,
to turn her human again? I mean.
And if in doubt, just put gravy in her shoe.
Rue in a shoe.
Rue in a shoe. So here's a personal encounter. In a silt house near the jungle edge during a thunderstorm, a family was gathered inside because a relative was in the final stages of labor. The father reported seeing a flickering red light bobbing outside the high window about 10 feet off the ground. He initially thought it was a large firefly or a lantern. As the light moved closer to the glass, he realized it was pulsating, a mass of organs trailing beneath a human head. The stomach of the entity was glowing a dull rhythmic crimson. It began scraping its tongue against the wooden shutters, trying to find a gap in the floorboards. The family immediately began burning dried chilies and scattering thorny leaves under the house, which caused the entity to shrink and fly back towards the canopy. So I'm guessing because the tongue they put in chilies make it hot.
Yeah.
Well, and then the thorns too.
Yeah.
You know,
It caused discomfort.
Yeah.
Kids, see, that would be terrifying.
That would be very terrifying.
Can you imagine like living, I don't know if this is still prevalent today, but I mean, I'm sure like 100 years ago it probably was.
Yeah.
Where they were worried about it.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine like you're already worrying about giving birth in general?
Right.
Even on a good day with a hospital and all the good stuff, can you imagine at home? And then thinking about all these different things that can come to you as you're giving birth?
Extra stress right there.
Right? Well, that means maybe that's just a preparation, though. Oh, well, she's getting ready to give birth. All right, let's just throw some chilies and some thorny bushes around to protect the house before.
I mean, if I was raised in that culture, then yeah.
Or I also wonder, too, if, like, those are the excuses that they give for when babies die.
Maybe it's their way of
maybe it was
dealing
some
with it.
Kind of, like, thing that turned into this whole story.
And just grew.
Uh-huh.
It's a possibility. We find that a lot of our, like, legends and folklore come from things like that.
Just based off of fear.
It's based off of fear, but it morphs into something entirely different.
Yeah.
Which, as we have learned, like with Slender Man and with, other things, that it can actually take form.
Yeah. You're like breathing life into it.
Yeah.
And that in itself would be terrifying because then you'd be actually seeing a head with organs flying around.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, in reality, it would probably be just a spirit. Making it look like that's what it is.
Right.
Taking that type of form.
Versus it really being that.
Yeah.
And no less terrifying, though.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
Like, people think ghosts can be terrifying in themselves for individuals, but then finding one that's not quite fully human, or at least full-bodied, sort of speak.
Right?
Yeah.
It's not a full-body apparition. What would you call it?
Well,
half body,
but
internal body apparition.
But the thing is an example of something like this was when we were at Waverly in 2017, and up on the 5th floor, remember, I saw running left to right what looked like kids' legs from just above the knee down.
Right. And
there was nothing above the knee.
That is common
to
see parts of apparitions.
Yes.
Right.
Or just like the torso on up, or part of the chest on up, or sometimes that you don't see the head at all.
Yeah.
Right.
But to see internal organs is a whole other story.
That's a whole different level there.
Okay, so the next one is a Hantu Bomo, which is a rogue shaman / ghost.
Okay.
So a Bomo's powers comes from his ability to negotiate with the spirit world. He often keeps familiars to do his bidding. As a regular shaman, if he breaks the strict moral or spiritual codes of his practice, such as using his powers for murder, extreme greed, or failure to perform specific rituals, then his familiars consume him. He doesn't die in the traditional sense. Instead, he becomes a Hantu Bomo. He is a living man who has become a vessel for a dark entity. He may appear normal during the day, but at night he performs gruesome rituals or wanders the forest seeking offerings to appease the spirit that now controls him. If a powerful shaman dies without properly releasing his spirit or passing his knowledge to a successor, his ghost remains tethered to the physical world. He will haunt his old village, appearing exactly as he did in life. The most dangerous aspect of this ghost is that he may try to heal people. Villagers might seek out the ghost, thinking the shaman is still alive. However, because the spirit is now untethered from human morality, the cure often involves a terrible price or curse that affects the victim's entire family. The Hantu Bomo is rarely depicted as a rotting corpse, like the Pocong. Instead, he is a figure of high-strung tension and dread. He is often seen in traditional Malay dress and cap, but with eyes that are unnaturally dark or glowing. His presence is marked by the sound of chanting or the rhythmic clicking of prayer beads or ritual tools. Even when no one is visible, instead of decay, he often smells of strong ritual incense or specific medicinal herbs, which can be disorienting because these are normally safe or holy smells. The transition from a respected healer to a ghost is a fall from grace that represents the ultimate spiritual failure.
Yeah, this is another one of those common Native American spirits. When you look at, we talked about the skinwalkers, we talk about the Wendigos, the Queequeg. Holy crud. Sorry. Anyway. Moving on. But you talk about, those are the same things, right? Those are the spiritual healers of the tribes who then go out and commit an atrocity, usually murder. Mm-hmm. And then they become a dark entity because of it.
Yeah.
So it's a very common.
Yeah.
Very common lore. And maybe it sets as a warning to the healers, like, hey, look, like, you have a great responsibility to be shaman, and if you abuse your position, this is what's going to happen to you.
Right.
So here, let's go with the personal account. In an abandoned wooden house on the outskirts of Malacca, Malaysia, a group of urban explorers entered a home that once belonged to a famous local healer who had died without a successor. They found a room filled with dead candles and ritual bowls. I wonder what dead candles are. Maybe candles that just aren't lit? Or that are just out?
Burnt down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One explorer reported seeing an old man sitting in the center of the room, his back to the door, wearing a traditional shaman clothes. The witness claimed that the man was performing a ritual, but he was performing it on himself. He was chanting mantras and slashing water that smelled like old copper and earth onto his own lap. When the explorer's flashlight hit the man, he didn't disappear. He slowly turned his head 180 degrees. The witness reported that the man's skin looked like parched, cracked mud, and his eyes were entirely white. The most terrifying part was the sound. The chanting didn't even stop when the ghost had opened its mouth to hiss.
Ooh.
Yeah. As soon as it turned its head,
Yeah, would have been out of there.
Is it gone?
I'm out.
Yeah.
I am running full bore, straight out. It is going to look like Gus and Sean from Psych, just running, screaming like a girl, too.
Hightailing it out of there.
Gone.
High-pitched scream.
Yep. Where's Josh? He left.
He's long gone.
This next one is called Toylo. Hold on. Beep.
Rolo.
Moving on. Just kidding. This next one is called Toyol. A small childlike spirit evoked from a fetus. It is often used by its owner to commit petty crimes or steal money. The most unsettling aspect of the Toyol is how it is created. It is the spirit of a stillborn child or a miscarried fetus that has been reanimated through black magic by a Bomo shaman. The ritual often involves exhuming at the remains and performing incantations to bind the soul to the physical world. Once awakened, it is sold to the person who wishes to become wealthy without working. It is seen as a small toddler-sized humanoid with greenish or grayish skin, large red glowing eyes, and sharp pointed teeth. In many accounts, it is naked or only wears a simple loincloth. Despite its magical power, it has the intellect and temperament of a toddler. It is easily distracted, prone to tantrums, and requires constant parenting from its owner. Now listen to this. This is where I'd be like, heck no. The owner or the owner's wife must allow it to nurse from them, sometimes drawing blood instead of milk to maintain the bond.
Yeah.
Heck frickin' no.
I'm out.
Yep, nope. And they say that thing's got sharp teeth.
Right?
Nope.
No thanks.
If you're going to get a spirit to do your bidding, right? You're like, you don't want to work for your money? That's fine. Send this spirit out. It'll get your money for you. But then you got to parent it. It has tantrums. It has a short attention span. So then you got to coax it all the time.
You're working twice as hard than if you just go get a dang job.
Just get your own money.
I know. Its primary job is to steal small amounts of money or jewelry from neighbors. It is rarely used for grand heists. Instead, it steals a few bills or a single ring at a time so that the victim doesn't immediately notice the loss. I mean, that's pretty smart.
That's smart, but
But if it has the intellect of the toddler, though.
Over time, these small thefts accumulate, making the owner wealthy while the neighbors wonder why their savings are slowly dwindling. Is that what happens whenever I lose my crap?
I mean,
guys, this is terrible.
Moving on.
It is literally 5 letters, and I can't even say it.
I better go check.
Words are hard,
I better
right?
go check my piggy bank. See if there's still got pennies in there.
Right?
I mean, they should be worth a lot of money by now, right?
If they multiply.
I mean, they're pennies.
I know.
Pennies are worth more now than they were 10 years ago.
Yeah.
They don't exist anymore.
I think we got 2 rolls of 2026 or 2025 pennies, brand new.
Shh, don't tell people that we're going to get Toyolos coming over and stealing our pennies.
They might have already done it. I don't know where they are.
Great.
So, because the Toyol has a mind of a child, the best defenses against it are toys and distractions. If you suspect that one is haunting your home, you can leave a handful of marbles or beans on the floor. It is said to be obsessed with counting. It will stop to count every single bean or play with the marbles, forgetting its mission until the sun comes up and it must return home. Placing needles or sharp objects under your banknotes can deter them, as they are afraid of hurting their small little hands. They are frightened by their own reflection. I probably would be too if I looked like that. Hanging these near the entrance of a home is a common ward against them. Owning one is a heavy burden. If the owner fails to feed it, usually with offerings of milk, sweets, or blood, or play with it, it will turn on its master, causing accidents or illness in the family. When the owner dies, the Toyolo must be passed to a descendant. If no one accepts it, the spirit becomes a stray, wandering the village and causing mischief until it is eventually banished by a shaman.
But it takes a shaman to make it.
Right.
And a shaman to kill it.
So, if you're the only shaman in town and you made it, why would you banish it?
Don't know. And you know what? You can go buy one of those large bag of dried beans at Costco's, and that should keep them busy for a while.
Well, your mason jar of jelly beans would...
2 mason jars. 2 big mason jars of jelly beans.
Yeah, that thing would be stuck there all night.
It's got the word bean in it. Doesn't matter if they're jelly.
I don't think so.
It's shaped like one.
You'll have to count it anyways.
Right? Let's keep it mason. I would just leave it on my counter.
Yep. I noticed a lot of their things, you have to pass it to a descendant
Yes.
in almost every situation.
Yep. Or else it's going to wander the village and cause mayhem.
Yep.
Or, like, go to the rest of the family and cause illness and
Misfortune and all that. Yeah.
That is one thing you do not want to receive in your will.
But either way, it's not good.
I mean, yeah, because if nobody accepts it, then everyone's going to get punished.
Yeah.
So what
But
do
if
do?
you accept it, it's a lot of work.
It's like,
I'd be like, I'll accept it. I'm also going to get a shaman.
Yep.
can you imagine? There's like Bill and Jane. Their toddler has been a toddler for 55 years. Something seems strange.
Why
Doesn't that seem a little
growing? It's got pretty sharp teeth for a toddler.
Why are its eyes glowing red?
Why is it naked all the time?
It only wears a loincloth.
So here's one of the accounts. In a small family-owned grocery store, the shop owner noticed that every evening exactly 3 10 ringgit notes were missing from the cash drawer, even though the total count had been correct an hour prior. There were no signs of break-ins, and one night he stayed late and hid in the back office. He reported seeing a small, shadowy green toddler hop onto the counter. The entity didn't use its hands to open the drawer. It seemed to slip through the metal. It took the money and began playing with a bowl of marbles the owner had left out as a trap. When the owner made a sound, the creature vanished instantly, leaving behind a small damp footprint on the counter that smelled of stagnant pond water.
Ew.
Ew.
Well, why was it green?
Because that's what they look like. Green
I thought they were
gray
gray before.
Green or gray.
Yeah,
Oh, greenish gray.
But, like, why are they green?
Swamp water.
They stay in the swamp water.
Duh.
But it said it disappeared, but it left a footprint. So it still took the money with it.
Yeah, like $30.
Dang.
Sneaky little thing. So even if you catch it, you still lose.
Yeah, and he distracted with marbles too.
Yeah.
Still didn't work. It still
Didn't
disappeared.
work. Yeah. Huh. Beans. Beans are the way to go.
So these are the Hantu spirits. There are actually many more Hantu spirits. There's ones that are in forests that are the shape of a tree, but they can be as tall as clouds, and they walk through the forest at night.
Interesting.
And they are afraid of the smell of rubber, burnt rubber. They don't like it. And so people in their little villages will burn rubber at night.
The burnt
Yeah.
burnt tires.
I don't like the smell of burnt rubber either.
Mm-mm. But what that Hantu will do is pick them up. Pick up a person and bring them up into the clouds and show them visions of the earth for the future or the past. And then when they're done with them, they'll just drop them and they'll be at the top of the trees. And everybody will be like, how in the crap did you get up there? But they'll be super confused and don't remember how they got there.
But did they remember the vision?
They remember the vision.
Wow.
But there's many, many Hantu spirits in these countries. Many different types. But I found these were the ones that were the most interesting.
Wow, that's cool.
They're all kind of interesting in that avenue.
Although, the one about the trees and how they walk around at night.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen any of these videos of like people seeing trees moving in the forest, like walking?
Yes.
No.
I've heard of it.
I've heard of it and I've seen like videos of it. And here's the thing though, before all this AI garbage, okay, because it's garbage.
I feel like it ruins everything.
It ruins everything
Like,
because
you can't believe anything anymore.
Oh,
Nope.
no, you cannot believe any of the stuff you see on
But years
the
ago,
internet anymore.
I had seen videos of people who had caught trees moving, like changing location in the forest.
That's wild.
You know,
Well,
so
what are those, like the rocks that are in sand, that they actually have a trail behind them?
Yeah, so there is an explanation they found for that. And I forget what it is. You can look it up, though. It had something to do with
Is there like
moisture, water, or something like that. And I don't know. There was an explanation years later on how those moving rocks actually leave those trails.
Oh, that's cool.
You'd have to look it up because I can't remember exactly what it was.
So maybe that's the same thing with these trees. We'll find out that there's a
but trees
logical
have
explanation.
Right, but they have roots, like deep roots.
They're going like Lord of the Rings style.
Yeah, but they just walk. They get up and they move.
Yeah, I don't know. Here's the problem. The only thing I can think of is that episode of Bob's Burgers.
Oh, I know what one you're talking about.
Yeah, where there are aliens that were hiding out as trees.
You know, when you look through a special pair of binoculars, you could see that they were aliens and not trees at all.
Yeah,
and they run after you.
So that's all I could see when you were saying when you guys were talking about
for me,
this.
all I'm thinking is like Lord of the Rings.
Right,
There's that
they're
too.
having that war and all the trees come out.
Yep. Yeah, but definitely interesting though, and it sounds like there's just a vast amount of these spirits or ghosts.
There are a lot of different kinds. A lot of different kinds.
And I would bet if you go into that area and start interviewing people, that you will find somebody, and probably several somebodies, who have had encounters with all of these spirits.
Well, and I think too, though, is that spiritual beliefs are huge.
Yeah.
They're part of everyone's communities and their lifestyles and their history and
cultures.
when it's passed down from generation to generation. And when you fully trust a parent or a grandparent and they're telling you these stories, that it's like legit and it scares you enough to continue that tradition.
And keep passing it down.
Yeah, my thought is they come from something.
Right.
Where do they come from? Like, what is the origin of these stories?
It would be interesting to find out the actual origin and see how it has morphed over the decades, you know?
Oh, and it's probably centuries in these cases.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, you're right though. But I mean, you look at, Scotland and Ireland, you have the Doulahan, right? That's been a century-old story associated to something along those lines. You have the Jersey Devil in the U.S. and other things that are...
Mothman,
like all of these things that have been, folklore, so to speak, that have just taken a life of their own and they just keep going.
Yeah, but it would be interesting to see where some of these things started and what it originally was versus what it is today.
Right. So if any of you know,
do share.
We want to know.
Oh, absolutely. Any of our listeners over in Indonesia, Malaysia, and that area, if you guys have had experiences with these creatures or know their origin stories, let us know. And as always, stay ghosty, my peeps. Thank you for listening to the Paranormal Peeps podcast. You can find us on social media at Twitter at CPR Paranormal, on Facebook at Paranormal Peeps Podcast and Cold Spot Paranormal Research. And you can find us on Instagram at coldspot_paranormal_research.